Hey there, I'm Dave, a climber, a setter, and a coach here at the Hangout Climbing Center in Duncan, BC. Now, I've been climbing almost 20 years, but just 20 minutes ago, I got to the top of one of the hardest indoor problems I've done in years. And if you stick with me, in this video, I'm going to share the top 5 tips I used to get to the end. If you struggle with your project, this could be one of the most important videos you've ever seen. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, let's talk about tip number 1. Whenever you engage on a project, it's not going to be pretty. You're going to start, things are going to be difficult. I mean, on this climb here, I just kept falling over and over and over again, especially at this point where I have to get my heel up over my right hand. I just couldn't do it. But eventually, I was able to sink the heel. And then I fell on the next move. And then I tried to rock over. And then I fell on that move. And so I guess where I'm trying to go with this is, even if the first time you start, you can't even grip the holds like this, you need to just keep trying and trying and trying again and moving forward in faith. The faith that eventually something will happen. Someone will give you a tip, or you'll find the air is a little bit lighter that day, or you feel lighter, or your muscles feel stronger, and you make progress, and then you feel better about yourself, that motivation comes, and then you can make progress. And that's how it works. So tip 1 is have faith in the process, keep trying, even if initially you're disappointed and things don't work out. Now, once you've determined where the cruxes are, and let's say you can't get the crux by moving forward, you can't get the crux by going from the bottom to the top, or going from below the move to above the move. Now you got to pull out tip number 2. This is seriously the most important tip you may ever hear. If you can't figure out a move, and it's very technical and you just can't figure out the right body position, do what I did here. What I did is, instead of trying to endlessly rock over, slip off, bash my shin against the wall, I went above the crux, grabbed the finish, and then tried to set myself up in balance, move backwards through the move, and once I had figured out where the position was, I just kept going back and forth like that. So I would go to the top, down, take a look at where my feet were, notice how I'm moving my left foot here, trying to figure out where's the best spot to hook this volume. And this is really important. Notice my shirt is different. I had to come back a separate day. The first day, I was not doing this. The first day, I just kept trying to rock over on my hip like this. But once I could do it, then I could move on to trick number 3. Tip number 3 is, it's low pointing. I talked about this in a previous video, actually. It's a special trick of mine. Rather than get the crux and then immediately go to the beginning and try to go to the end, as if I'm magically going to do the whole thing, I want to know I can do the whole climb. So I'll move 1 move below the crux, go to the finish. Then 2 moves below the crux. Here I think I'm 3 moves below the crux. And that way, every time I make it through the crux and to the finish, I gain that much more confidence. And when it comes time to really send, I can move with faith, and I can really get excited, call my friends over, and I know I'm not going to embarrass myself. Now, tip number 4, this may seem simple to you, but it's about chalk. So not only about putting chalk on your hands, but taking chalk off the wall, or off the holds. So here, I'm putting liquid chalk on my hand, and a lot of people ask me what my opinion about liquid chalk is, and I'll tell you now. My opinion about liquid chalk is that it gets you about 1 more move. It's perfect for getting you 1 more move. But you still need good old-fashioned chalk like this before you go up. And because you've probably been trying it, or other people have been trying the climb before you, make sure you take a few minutes and get chalk off the hold.
Another pro tip. It's worth brushing your climbs a lot.
You see, if pro climber Ross Fulkerson is brushing the holds, you should probably brush them too. And brush all of the holds, not just the crux, but also the start. If you can save 1% energy and 1% chalk all the way up, you'll just have that much more chalk and that much more energy and that much more strength when you need it. Let's talk about tip 5. Tip 5 is, once you've worked backwards, figured out your crux, you've done all your low pointing, so you've moved yourself back 1 move at a time all the way to the start, and you're ready for your send attempt, take a moment, prime your muscles. This can go for your project or for a big competition, but start with the big muscles. Here it's hard to see, but I've got that 15-pound medicine ball squeezed between my legs, and I'm doing some basic quick hangs just to get my fingers used to gripping onto this bar. So in this case, I went fingers first and then arms, but I might also do arms first and then fingers. And I'm just gonna squeeze, do a few pull-ups. I don't like to tire myself out. I'm not trying to get a workout in. I'm just trying to get my muscles used to lifting something more than my body weight, so when they have to lift my body weight, it seems easy. So now let's put it all together. Come on, I say. I've done my low pointing, I've worked out the crux, I've primed my muscles, I've chalked up, I've brushed the holds. I'm confident, I know I'm gonna do it. I've set the camera up, and I've got myself on the little gimbal tripod, so it's following me up. It's a little herky-jerky, but I didn't have anyone else to videotape me. Sorry about that. But here you see, look at the intention I'm moving with. I've probably put 20 or 30, maybe 40 attempts on this over a few different days, but I'm very confident because I have done the moves, over and over and over again, going down just a little bit before this attempt. And I am excited. Look at that. Before I started this, I really didn't know if I could do this. I was just hoping I could do it. And I had to have faith in the process, just like I'm telling you to. But after it was all done, boy, do I feel good. I had been coming off a year of injuries. This is the strongest I've felt. I've been, at this point, been climbing about a month straight without break. And I am hulking out. But there you have it. Those 5 tips were the most important, helping me get to the finish. If you follow them, and you keep staying kind, and you keep trying hard, I'll see you at the top too. Cheers. That's important. You get that?
I did.
Okay, perfect. Here we go. We'll try.
I can't tell if that was legitimate or not, or those are for the takes.
I wish that was a